If you ask just about anybody on the street if this dummy could use a little help with his complexion, and maybe even a little help with his hair, most people would probably say yes.
Do you feel you're sitting too...
Now, if this dummy wasn't a dummy at all, but rather a real person who just happened to work in television and needed a hand with his or her makeup...
My resume over the years, working for CNN, I've had the opportunity to make up a number of world leaders. I've made up all the living presidents, and I can say that I have already made up the next president. It's an exciting job in that sense. And of course I get to work with some top anchors at CNN, including Wolf, Blitzer. I used to do Larry King all the time. I worked with Larry for 18 years, which was very exciting because of his guest list.
This master of the canvas of the human face says sometimes even with makeup, folks don't look too made up. He uses himself as an example.
Be nice to him because he can make you look like Halloween. If
It is my
we're waiting for the coffee and bagels. I'm sorry, I don't know what the hell happened.
I'm extremely ruddy. If I go on camera, I look like I'm on fire because the camera picks up reds and blues with a lot of intensity. So there are things that you don't have to go for the tarted up look, but you want to look normal to what the camera is seeing. If you're going to work in an area where there aren't people like me around, then I suggest you learn how to make yourself up properly.
Today, Skip is giving lessons on makeup to everyone from aspiring broadcasters to people who do media for other organizations.
Airbrush, in my professional opinion, has been totally overrated. It's become a fad. It is not, and I'm going to say this with a lot of meaning, it is not the only way you can make yourself up for high-def television.
Now, if you see a local skin doctor, they might tell you to keep your skin looking naturally fresh. There's some pretty easy things to do, like a good diet, health, exercise, and drink plenty of water, which will keep you looking good through just about anybody's pair of lenses. Now, how about making suggestions about diet and eating right?
Rarely do I do that, except for like if you have really oily skin, I will suggest that you use an astringent before you put your makeup on, and for people that are really dry, I will suggest you use a little moisturizer.
And for putting those finishing touches on to look good in the latest technology like high-definition television?
When HD first came in as a makeup artist, we were scared to death of it because we thought, oh my God, we're not going to be able to really apply anything. You're going to see it. We have discovered through experimenting with different levels of makeup that in fact high def makes everything look better. So it's not anything to be afraid of. I mean, you don't want to pile the makeup on, but by the same token, you just have to dial it back slightly. But we have found that as a format, HD is really a really good thing and nothing to be afraid of.
But I share the script writing responsibility.
Generally speaking, when we're making up the women, it's very important that we get natural-looking colors, that we punch up the lip colors, and to make sure that the hair and everything is straight so that you don't have a lot of flyaways. And generally speaking, just a nice conservative look.
Smith says that while making up the genders is about the same, with a little more complexity, obviously, to the ladies, for the men, there are a few special touches to keep them from looking like a werewolf.
Guys, we want to take care of any beard shadow, ruddiness in the skin, shadow, and again, just to make sure that the hair is clean looking without a lot of little flyaways, because HD camera now picks all that up. All right, that's good.
And for those just getting started out to work either as a newscaster in broadcasting,
remember, we must treat the client with...
or perhaps even an actor, TV, or soap star, those makeup basics are the same, says Skip. Keep it simple.
They need to have basic foundation, powder, and highlighters to take care of under eye shadow. But you have to keep it simple. Simple's best.
It's about, you know, health, medical issues and
best.
stuff.
You don't open them or exactly.
Finally, don't forget the clothes they can take off on their own.
And now
Tape
sports.
A,
After
next.
losing
The one that you have to be very careful in television to not wear very close patterns like seersucker or herringbone, because these things tend to what is known as moire, where they'll come alive. And there's nothing worse than, like, say, a guy that's getting ready to report on something and his tie is jumping. Because you're going to be watching the tie and you'll miss everything that's going, you know, that he's saying.
There you go. Thanks. Thanks very much. Here you go.